Good afternoon. Hello, everyone. Hey, Joe.
Hello, how's it going?
Good, how are you?
Doing well.
I'm in the clouds.
You're in the clouds. Hang on, putting my Teams on Do Not Disturb so when I'm sharing my screen, my messages don't pop up everywhere.
That's fine.
Oh yeah, I see the clouds. There we go.
Good afternoon to those of you that are on already. We still have about 6 minutes to go, but welcome team leaders. Maureen's going to jump on here shortly and she'll be leading this. Number 5.
It's been awesome.
We really enjoy having you. So anytime.
Anytime you guys need it, we're more than happy.
We're going to schedule more coming up here in the next couple of weeks, something more concentrated on certain features and kind of like what we've been doing this week. Because we did 2 hours of basically trainings we did 8 of them in the last 2 weeks.
Wow.
Yeah.
A lot. And there's a lot coming too, which would be great. So you'll have a lot more new stuff to talk about.
Yeah. The bomb thing is so cool though. I just watched the video, I'm sure like everyone else, but that's going to be awesome.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Hi, Connie. Connie Nord from Indiana. Good to see all of you on here. I see some very familiar names. And welcome to everyone from New England and Midwest. We have about 5 minutes to go, so if you need to take a quick break or grab some food, or like me, grab some chocolate, dark chocolate. Trying to be good during, staying home. I've got a treadmill, I've got a bike, I'm working out, I'm trying to eat healthy.
Makes the days go by better.
Yeah, it does. Oh yeah, first thing in the morning, get it done.
We started our day today with a nice little fire with coffee in the backyard, so that was very relaxing.
Very good. Do you have any pets?
We have a beagle.
Beagles are the best. Yeah.
Hi,
Dale. Dale from Milwaukee saying hello. Good to see you virtually. Welcome, Maureen and Erika.
Good morning. Afternoon now. It's been, I already did the morning session.
Still 3 minutes to in the morning here in Central Time Zone, but officially. So yeah, we got 4 minutes to go, everyone. So Maureen, whenever you're ready, you can go ahead and do the screen share.
Sure.
So like we said, welcome team leaders, welcome broker owner managers that are joining us as well.
Just want to double check on my background pages here.
Dale's already asking questions here. Why is my mobile app different from the Mac Center booj tutorial? Well, we'd have to see what you're looking at, Dale, but you should be using the booj CRM mobile app. So I don't know if you've gotten anything else that downloaded, but that's, Joe, I'm assuming that's the video on the booj tutorial. There's, yeah.
I'm looking at the question, why is my mobile app different from the Mac Center booj tutorial? Is that the blue question mark tutorial, or is it something that you're searching for, Dale, inside of Mac Center? If you can send me a link somehow, I don't know how we would do that, but we can take a look at that.
A screenshot, maybe? Dale, you've got my email. Send me a screenshot or send it to support. And I guess we just need to see what you're looking at. So we're assuming you mean Remax University tutorial. But anyway, good to have you here, Dale. It's all yours, Maureen. Just a couple minutes to go.
Yeah, I'm watching. Can you guys see my screen okay?
Yes.
All right, good. Looking at my clock as well. Got 1 minute. Well, we can obviously start thanking everybody for your attendance today. This is the 6th, I think, webinar this week, 5th this week. And for our team specifically, we welcome you. We know you've been waiting a long time to have a dedicated webinar just for you about booj. And I'm happy to say that we have a great team of experts here behind the scenes, as well as myself, to sort of moderate this webinar so you can get all your questions answered. If you look at the bottom of your screen, there is a little taskbar and there's a Q&A box or Q&A folder. That is where you want to type in any questions you have as I go through the PowerPoint presentation. We're going to take turns here today. We have an esteemed group of professionals that can show you different parts of this product, and each of us has our own role that we could be our best at. So you're going to be hearing from a lot of us. If you have questions as we go along, please type them in the Q&A box, not in the chat box. The Q&A box is being monitored, and those questions will help others as well. And what we do after these webinars, which are recorded, by the way, is we compile those questions and answers, and then we send them out to those in attendance. That allows you to not only review the webinar again, maybe go at a slower pace, but also to review the questions and answers that you may have not seen as we proceed. So let's get started. And welcome to our panelists. A couple on the list may or may not be here right now. I think Cameron Laird, the Director of Technology, is tied up in another meeting, but is certainly here in spirit and has been helping us out all week. Erika, I'm not sure, are you on this afternoon?
I sure am.
There she is. And I'm going to allow each of our professionals to introduce themselves in order on the slide.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Erika Cappa. I am the Director of Broker and Agent Support for Remax INTEGRA North America. So what that means is I lead the team that provides support to all of the Remax INTEGRA brokers and agents within the Remax INTEGRA network in Ontario Atlantic, Minnesota, Wisconsin, Indiana, and all of the New England states. So a couple of quick things that I want to note before we start this webinar is we will not be able to troubleshoot any challenges that you may be experiencing on the webinar. So if you're experiencing any issues with your screen looks different to what Maureen says, or maybe you don't think something's working the way that it should be, please go ahead and reach out directly to our support team. There's a couple of different ways you can do that. So I recommend just going directly to maxhelpsyou.com. You can instant chat with our team. You can schedule a phone call. You can submit a web ticket. You can also get to us through Max Center. There's a tile that will say Max Helps You Broker and Agent Support. If you have questions on the material being trained, please use the Q&A box that's at the bottom of your screen. That will allow us to download the questions that you ask at the end of the day. And we actually type those up and answer those and use those for our knowledge-based articles, as well as getting those sent out to you guys so that you can refer back to them at a later time as well. So thank you again for having me and letting me join you guys this afternoon. I look forward to answering those questions on the back end for you.
All right. Michelle? Michelle, you muted.
Of course I am. Greetings, everyone. Hi, I'm Michelle Hoyt. I am a regional training specialist in the Midwest region. So I specifically cover Minnesota, Wisconsin, Indiana, but I'm really loving getting to know the New England group virtually. And we're really glad to have you all here today. Thanks for hanging with us this week and the last couple of weeks. It's just been a big adjustment for all of us, but we are at home together. See my background, and we're here to help. So we were already doing webinars, but now we're utilizing them even more than ever. We know that you are too. But I'm excited for us to have this session today because I know a lot of you have been reaching out as team leaders and asking us, when is our turn? When do we get some training? What's going on with booj? How do we use it and best practices? And we're thrilled and looking forward to sharing some of that with you and just giving you this forum for you to ask questions and get those answers that you need. So thanks for having me.
And our special guest from LLC, our technology engagement consultant, Joseph Keck.
Hey everyone, good afternoon. I'm Joseph Keck, like Maureen said. I work out of RE/MAX headquarters in Denver, Colorado. I also live out in Colorado, originally from the Northeast, Brooklyn, New York. So hi to all your New Englanders up there. I'm here, my role and our team's role back at headquarters is to help bridge the gap between the development side of these tools and the people who use it, agents, brokers, and teams. So I'm really excited to be here to help. We went in the region late 2019 to train the core regions in the United States, had a lot of success. And the great thing is the technology is ours now. So even if it's not perfect today, it's going to get better over time. So I'm here to help out any way possible. I'm sure I'll share some of my screens at some point as well. Thanks for having me.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. Just to give you a little overview of this week's webinars that have taken place, you can see the schedule here. You can also look at soldsignblog.com for more upcoming webinars, but just to know that all of these, including today's, have been recorded, including the question and answer sessions, and you can view these on the RE/MAX INTEGRA YouTube channel as well as RE/MAX University. So a few things to point out. When you do go into booj, if you were in our classes for the setup, we tried to make everybody aware that the product is optimized for Chrome, the Chrome browser. There is, of course, a Chrome for Mac. It will, yes, work on Safari and Firefox, but it is nice to use the platform that it was originally optimized for. So that would be Chrome. Another very important point. All of the information about you in your booj account is being drawn off of your Max Center profile. Therefore, that is where you want to go to make sure all your information, including your photo and bio, are really up to date, high quality. That is where people are going to, that information and those photographs of what people, the consumers, are going to see. In addition to that, that's what the referral network is going to show. So if other agents from other parts of the country are looking for someone to refer clients to, the information on your Max Center profile is what they're going to see about you, and that's what they'll be basing their decision on. So we can't really emphasize enough that that's really important to do. And time allowing today, I will show you how to walk through that, but it was shown in all our setup webinars as well. Now, yesterday was the big day. I said it was booj's birthday because we finally went into the hard launch time, and a lot of new features have been turned on. The MLS is now feeding your listings, and it's time to add those custom domain names to your websites we were promising. Also, the text feature from the booj CRM mobile app is enabled, and this is now the fact that your lead street leads are off. Now your leads are coming from remax.com through the booj platform. So that was the official transfer yesterday. However, you still have until the end of April to get some of your information or export contacts or whatever else you might have in lead street out of there. The access to the product does not end until April 30th. Just another note, we've mentioned this on all of the webinars. In case a broker owner hasn't yet finalized their IDX agreements, which, by the way, only broker owners need to do. Agents do not have this requirement. But in case that isn't complete, they need to do that with the help of support. And support at remaxintegra.com link is right there. Or visit maxhelpsyou.com. They need to do that in order for your agents to be able to publish their websites. So things that will be coming in Q2, which actually starts today. So the Q2s are several months long, but in the next few months, you're going to see the mobile app calendar, an office level CRM, everything here on this list. Something I'm very excited about is the Outlook and Google Contact Sync coming in at the end of the month. The email campaigns, right now you have a single available to you, but the drip, the important date, and the templates will be coming soon. A search by MLS on Remax.com is pending. Can't wait to see that. And even though the websites right now are very vital, they're really beautiful, there's a lot of things to choose from, there's even more on the agenda here. Social media blocks, the collection templates, I know a lot of you are looking forward to that. And something I've always liked to teach in my live training is individual property websites and how to utilize those to gain your clients' trust and earn those listings. Community pages are going to be a new feature, and an updated version of the seller reports will be out. Right now we have a version 1, and I'm going to ask Joe just to let us know what the difference is going to be.
Yeah, sure. So version 1 of seller reports is going to be a single send seller report that an agent could go into the CRM and create and send it off to a client. It's going to give them information as far as listing syndication details, statistics on different sites like Wall Street Journal and such like that. I watched a video on this earlier. The really cool thing is you can really customize these seller reports as far as the content goes, and it looks very similar to the same tool you guys have been using for the website. So everything's very, very similar across the board, websites, campaigns, and now these seller reports. So I just wanted to update everyone on that.
Thank you very much. All right, let's look a little bit now at how the team features are evolving here. I've just myself and Michelle were spending a little bit of time going over all of the new specific features for teams. And what you really want to realize is that teams are really important in the hierarchy. I did find a note, and I'm going to ask Joe to clarify this. It says that at least one team has to have a lead set per broker owner. Can you explain that?
You know, that specific bullet point, is that on from this slide?
And it's actually on one of the videos that came through to us as a learning feature.
Oh,
so
yes, has to have a lead set per broker owner. Yes, I see what it says now. At least one team has to have a lead set. So I'm assuming it means team lead set. So that way the team leader can go into the booj platform and look at the contacts and leads for the entire team. They can create campaigns for their teams, templates. They can, see their team members' calendars that way. So I'm thinking that's what it means. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Erika, do you know anything different than that, or is that where we are?
That's where we are.
Okay, thank you. And definitely there are going to be different permission levels for team leads and team members. Oh, go ahead, Joe, if you had a comment.
Yeah, there's going to be different permission levels. So a team leader, again, is going to have access to things like the team website, creating campaigns, templates for their team members, excuse me. Also, again, you can see calendars, and I'm planning on showing some of this stuff a little bit later once you ask me to live drive some of these features. But yes, there's going to be different permissions inside the system, and I'll also show you how you can change between your own permissions. The team leader, a lot of times, is also an agent. I'll show you how to toggle between those two things.
Yeah, we were practicing with that earlier. That's going to be great for everybody to watch. So just keep in mind, as a team leader, you are going to have sharing and assignment rights. You will be able to share with your entire team or individual team members. And depending on the permissions you give, you'll be able to give them sharing rights that allow them to edit or not. The team lead can also share contacts, task plans, campaigns, their deals, and can assign individual tasks to individual team members. Any broadening on that whole scenario, Joe?
No, that's a really good snapshot, Maureen. You know, the one thing I will say, if you haven't been inside the system, there's not a team page. It's not like a page where you hit team and all the team features are there. Your team functionality is sprinkled throughout the platform because you're a team leader. So I'll show you where all those little things live on each page, really, because there's a lot more functionality team leaders need compared to just an agent who's not part of a team.
Perfect. But I'm just going to back up there again, just because I think this is a great overview. Think about this. When we were teaching the setup of booj, and you were on the agent and you were on the broker webinars and the overview setups, we were showing you how to work in each one of these categories. We were showing you how to add contacts. We were showing you how to share contacts or send contacts to each other. We were showing you how to add task plans and then automate those task plans, and then connect them to deals. Same thing with campaigns. Right now we've got the single campaign out there. We're pending some more really fancy ones. And then the deals connections and how that can now be connected to your paperless transactions. And you can integrate that with your DocuSign. And individual tasks, things that can now be assigned. Let's say there's a task plan that you have on a specific deal that can now be assigned to an individual. So I like the idea of Joe's explanation where you're going to have all of these different options sprinkled throughout the main CRM platform. So it's really helpful for you to have identified that the team should be looking for just a team account. What they're having is different permissions within their own accounts.
Hey, Maureen, can we pause
Yeah.
for a question really quick?
Absolutely.
So, and this could be this is actually for Joe. So Dan is asking what, and I think if I'm understanding correctly, he wants to know if there's going to be an administrator / team manager access that allows permission to see everything without logging into a team leader. Now I'm guessing, Dan, clarify, are you talking about the broker owner impersonation? And if that's the case, I'll let Joe answer. I don't see if he's clarifying. That's what I'm assuming so, but Dan is
I can answer it either way, but for both things. So the broker owner impersonation is different than permissions and roles. So
and it's not live yet either. So just so everyone.
Right. Yeah, and it's not live yet. So it's not like agents, brokers can't impersonate agents' accounts right now. And again, agents will be able to turn that off. However, permissions, what you can do to answer your question, yes, there will be a team lead admin. So as the team leader, you can go in, you can have control to all these things. The team lead admin is somebody you can also log in and have the same exact permissions you have. I see your updated questions as far as when will it be live. We're hoping very, very soon. I'm talking within the next month or so. Broker owners at R4, team leaders at R4, we're coming up saying, hey, we some of us have the time, some of us don't have the time. We need some sort of admin level permission where we don't have to worry about logging in and take care of these things. And so that is something that's on high up on the booj radar. And like I've been told from some of the product managers, we're looking at the next month or so for some of those permissions to start going live. For right now, you can have someone else. If it's like sometimes husband, wife, spouse teams, sometimes you share logins, something we don't typically try to recommend, but it is a way around it temporarily until that team lead admin permission does come up.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you very much. And just to let people know, I decided to drop in here before we get too much further along. Please don't forget that you can go to RE/MAX University, and this is just a picture that I took when I typed in the word team in the search bar. So on RE/MAX University, literally, I typed in the word team, and a few things that we're going to go over, you can find in mini sessions in these very helpful, easy to understand 4 or 5 minute videos. And these couple creating a lead pod and editing a lead pod, I believe like 5 minutes long. This team management within booj is a full 1 hour, and it is chock full of detailed information of how to manage a team. A few things in there may not yet be live, but it does give you a fantastic overview and you can slow it down and back it up. and really take some notes as a team leader or as a team member, even as a broker owner who's going to get these questions from their teams. So I would love to just remind you that not to worry, that a lot of these current webinars we're doing seem like they go at a quick pace, and because people like Joe are so expert at their job, it seems a little bit hard to grasp if you're just listening for the first time. But this is the reason we back up our webinar, our live sessions with these video recordings, and I just really wanted to bring those to the forefront so that you can go back even before you get this live video replicated on the RE/MAX INTEGRA YouTube channel. Okay, let's talk a little bit about contact sharing. And basically, there are going to be sharing options that I have to move my picture here because I can't read my own notes. That are the sharing option is going to be available in two different ways. Number one, global means you can share it with your entire team, and number two means you can share with specific team members. As you can see, when you go into a person's record, you're going to also get the option to shut off global team share, and all that means is they will not have, whoever you share with will not have editing access. Now that's currently not yet live. The global and the individual, I believe, are. Is that correct, Joe?
Yep, they're live, good to go.
Excellent. All right, so here's just basically a picture that this is what Joe is referring to. When you're a team leader and you sign into your booj account, you are simply going to default to your single agent permissions. And I'm going to try to open up my background here. I'm pretty sure I have an account. I can show this to you open. And if mine doesn't work, his will. Let me just X that out. Here we have the team leader, and there we go. As you can see, in this case, I hovered over team leader. When you first sign in, it's going to default to your individual agent account. But if you hover over it and you click into the bar, you get the option of what your permissions have been imported. So if you're a team leader, your team leader options will be here. I'm already in that one, so I could convert back, for instance, to just my agent role. And that's the toggle button Joe was referring to. So when you default here and you want to go into your team leader account, you're going to choose that option, which will be there for you, and it will bounce back. So just as a sample, and like I said, he will be more in detail being able to demonstrate that, but I did just want to point out what he was referring to at that time. And here's just some slides that are pictures of it. Again, I like to send these slides to the attendees so that you can sort of get a slowed down version of our clicking around. And this is just going to show you samples of what you should see as you do so. Again, hover over the permissions name, and then when you do, you can make those adjustments. So now you're in the team leader role here, and this is showing you basically what you've been taught before. You are going to be able to see the names of the people that are in your contacts and leads. And if you go and click on them, you're going to be able to do the single share contact records, multiple share contact records, and you can either click on one person or you could select the whole group of people to share. This would be your share button here, and that's when it would open you up to the options of global or individual. Global, everyone in your team has access to the contact or lead. Only an individual if you click that. And you can actually, in this space, add team member and adjust individual permissions. So I'm going to ask Joe to go live and show this a little bit. I just have the screenshot, but if you could show them how to adjust the permissions for team members and add a member, that would be fantastic. So I'll stop my share here for a moment.
All right, sounds good. All right. So I have a lot of windows open, so bear with me. I have a couple different accounts pulled up in case I need to jump around and show you different things. So this is my test team leader account, like Maureen was showing you. You can see that I have my team leader permissions already added here. If I go to my contact and leads from the top menu, I have one contact in there currently. So if I selected that checkbox that Maureen selected and then select that share option that appears once I select that checkbox, then we have that same window. Now, the one thing, Maureen, that I think you're having that I don't have, which is cool because it looks like you have something additional than I don't, your test account allows you to actually show a screenshot of what it's going to look like when you go add that team lead admin that Dale was asking about earlier. So that's really all you need to see. There's nothing really much behind it. You would just start typing in a team leader's name, and then you can edit the permissions from there. So unfortunately, again, it sounds like your test account has more than mine. I'll have to see what I can do about getting that same test account.
Okay.
Let me stop my share here. Whoops, where are we? Come on. Stop share. There you go. You should have it.
Okay. And back we go. So yeah, this is, as you can see, I'm sorry, I have to keep moving that box out of the way, but this is the individual team member permissions piece that you will be seeing. Is that live? Is that why I'm getting it and you're not? Or is this the piece we're waiting on?
No, that's the piece that we're waiting on and Dale was talking about. So you have actually a screenshot of what it's going to look like once that goes live.
Got it. Well, that's good, because you guys are going to get a copy of these slides, so you'll be able to see that and reflect back on it. And again, just an updated piece here. You can add team members in addition to adjusting their permissions. What I do want to ask Erika, Michelle and I were questioning, in order to add team members, we're assuming that those team members have to be listed as team members in iFranchise in order for them to appear in this dropdown. Is that accurate?
Yes, that is correct. They have to be associated in the RE/MAX membership database with that team.
All right, and that's a broker owner function, correct?
That's correct.
Okay, good to know.
And actually, while we're on that subject, we're getting quite a few questions about what type of access admins will be able to have to booj. Is that something you can talk about just a little bit, Joe?
Yeah, so team lead admins, if you give them that admin role, they're going to be able to have access to basically everything you have access to as the team leader. So they'll have access to editing the team website, access to editing templates for campaigns and stuff like that. So they're going to basically.
Now, to be clear, I'm sorry, Joe. To be clear for our agents on here, that admin has to have a RE/MAX membership.
Correct. So
the
I don't
team leader won't. Yep, go ahead, Joe. I just wanted to hit on that piece.
Yes, that's a great point to bring up. So I don't know if you guys, if your broker owners add those things into the agent office portal like our core agents do. So wherever you go to add staff members, you have to add that individual as a staff member first. And typically in the agent office portal, what core US agents use, they have to create the team in there as well. So they create a team and then they start adding the individual team members from that. That would be your membership platform, whatever you guys are using. So you have to do that first, and then they will be able to be selected from here as a potential team lead admin if they're a team member already created. Does that help answer the question?
Yes, that absolutely does. And then I've got one other question I think we should probably answer real quick, and that is when we hover over the toggle button for a team leader, there are no other options or a pencil to edit. It actually says agent, not team leader. How do we get that changed?
So it sounds like it's only showing one permission currently.
That's what I gather from it.
All right, let me pull up that question. So if it's showing only one permission and you have been set up correctly, you're a team leader, but you're also your own individual agent. Like broker owners, you can have broker owners who are agents, broker owners who just are broker owners. So if you know for sure you should have those permissions, and that's something you're going to want to reach out to your support team on, because we have seen that, not widespread, but we have seen that come up a couple times with some of the core agents as well and teams.
Thank you so much, Joe.
Any other questions, Erika, that anybody might want to hear publicly?
Nope, I think that's good.
All righty. Well, the next thing I wanted to move on to is the lead routing, creating a lead pod and then editing a lead pod. And I'm going to give this a go round. And if for some reason my
Hey, Maureen,
Just to
just really
count-
quickly, I see a couple questions in the chat box. Everyone, please type your questions in the Q&A folder. We are able to pull reports off of that and keep better track of that. So Dawn and Shannon, would you mind typing your questions into the Q&A box? I just wanted to make mention. Thank you.
Okay. What I wanted to go over is the lead routing, creating a pod and then editing it. And I just wanted to make sure I was in the right test account here. So forgive me because I want to check the permissions. And I'm going to stay in the admin account because it is giving me the drop down for the lead routing. Joe, sometimes I go into a test account and it does not give me the lead routing. Is that just the agent that doesn't have it, or is it, which one doesn't have it?
So only broker owners, team leaders, team admins, broker owner, office admins, office managers, they're the only ones that are going to have that lead routing option. Individual agents will not, because they can't control lead routing from the team level website or the office level website.
Okay, that's a big help to know. All right, so as you can see up here, everybody, I've been playing with all kinds of test accounts. I just want to make sure I'm in the right one so I end up showing you the right features. So the one thing we want to start with when we want to talk about lead routing is the lead routing settings. So you begin over here in the upper right-hand corner, which in my case for the test account is a balloon. Could be a little person icon. Is that the agent's picture when they're in their own account? Yes, it is. Okay. So I click onto lead routing, and you automatically default into this unassigned lead authors
Hey, Maureen.
page.
Maureen,
Yeah.
you're actually on an office admin account, not a team leader account right now.
Hang on a minute. Let me see if I can adjust that.
If you can't,
Those are the only two options I'm getting.
if you can't, most of the setup process for
It's
both those
the same,
accounts are the
isn't
same.
it? Yeah, I thought it was.
But I do have it pulled up, so you guys just let me know.
All right, so what I want to do is get to my lead routing rules here. So like we said, we started over here and we entered into the lead routing. We come over here, you have unassigned leads, which is the default view you're going to get. You're going to have the assignments tab, but the routing rules are here, and this is where you will find the pods. So what you want to do is check in here. There are some defaults and some test ones that we've done, but as I've taught before, just about all of the columns, all of the pages allow you a place to create something new. So let's go ahead and open the create a new pod. And one of the first things you want to do is, instead of it being untitled, let's name it. And I might name it entry-level buyers. Once I choose my name, I just hit check, and now that is the name of my new pod. And let's say the criteria we're going to use is the property price. This is actually a sample I've done before. And entry level, let's call it 0 to 250. If I remove that criteria, I just want to show you can re-add it under add criteria. You select it. I'm going to property price because my category is entry level buyers. I'm going to go from 0 to 250. It's hard to believe in this world $50,000 is an entry level anything, but that's what we'll go with. And then if you wanted to add further criteria, you could go by property type or by, let's say, zip code. And in the zip codes, you can add up to 10. So let's just add one for the sake of demonstration. And now down, as you scroll, this is why I like to suggest that anybody going into these settings for the first time, just practice like 15 minutes a day on one section. And that'll get you familiar enough with it that it will not seem foreign to you. So when you look at this, all you're going to have to do is just read the directions. Now, these are the hours which team members are to be able to be accepting, will be expected to accept their offers. So you can set the requirements. You can use the same setting for all days. And there you go. You can use the same setting for weekdays only, or you can do weekends only. When you do that, you also have the opportunity to very specifically set times. The default is going to be the same as Remax.com, the 8 to 10, 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. local time. If leads come in after that time on Remax.com, after 10 p.m., then the person has till 8 a.m. the next morning to claim it. The routing method, we've talked about this in the setup. Round robin means that that lead goes to the person next in line who's waited the longest. If they don't take it, then it goes to the person who's waited the second longest amount of time. After the regular hours, the routing method changes or can change to what's called the Shark Tank. And that just means it goes to multiple agents at once. But this again is up to you to choose. So this is where team leaders can set those requirements within their own team. When you're down in the rotation time, you're going to be able to choose 15, 30, 45, or 60 minutes. How long do you want the offer to sit in somebody's box before they have to accept it? In this one, the maximum lead offers, this is the agent offer time is 15 minutes with how many offer rotations you allow it. So the total length of time before the lead will go to a backup route. For instance, if you choose 4, that's 4 15-minute increments, which would make it 1 hour before it got passed on. And am I correct, Joe, that then it would come over to this side and enter up in the Shark Tank?
Correct. If that's how you have it set up, if you have your settings above for business hours and then you have your Shark hour there, whatever you select down here will go into effect.
Perfect. And finally, the last piece of setting here is you can select team members in this pod to assign incoming offers, whether it be the entire team, or you can search for your team members by name and save them. My list is empty because it's a test account, but I have seen where they just compile a certain number of names. And you may choose those names based on criteria like this. You may have specific agents that are starting out that are working best with the entry-level buyers, and you want to give them a couple of leads that come in that category. That might be an opportunity to assign that lead to that person. And am I correct that the team members themselves have to have signed up for the same criteria that the pods are set up in?
Yeah, that's correct. So your team members, when they log into their booj accounts and they select their 10 zip codes, they select what type of leads they want to they opt out of don't want to receive actually. So if they don't want to receive, land leads, they can opt out of that. So when they select all those things and then you come in here and create that pod, that matches the agents with those same filters. So that's how it's going to determine who gets those leads.
Okay. All right, so now I'm going to go back up to the top under routing rules and go back into pods. And I want to show you, I might need Joe's help on this in a minute, but I think I got it. If you want to edit a lead pod, okay, editing it from the default routing. First of all, office managers, admins, and team leaders are the ones that are going to have this access. Is that right?
Correct.
Okay. So what we're going to do is, as we did before, we're going to go to the profile, upper right-hand corner, ask for the leads, which we've already done. It brings us over here. And then select the routing rules again and hit pods. And here we are. Once you're in the pods, you can select over here on the buttons, and let's say I just want to select this luxury lead pod here. I'm going to follow that over and I'm going to click the edit pencil to the right, and it should open up that particular luxury lead pod criteria. And so let's say I want to change the name of it to collections. We were calling it luxury leads, but because all of our marketing materials say collections, let's name it that instead. And then I can edit that and change the name. If I want to add different criteria now, I can certainly remove this particular filter, add criteria, select it again, and I'll go back to property price. Maybe now I'm in a different zip code, or I'm looking for a different premium. So I'm going to say we're going to $1 million. Is that right? $1 million to 1.5 million.
Maureen, can we pause for a second? There's an important question that just came in. I'd actually like to pose towards Joe.
Sure.
So Shannon's asking, following up on her, she asked a question about access, as Erika brought up before. Is it recommended that team members do not have access to the Team booj account? And the next part of it is it full access? And she said there's some confusion as the benefits. If you can maybe explain that a little bit better.
Absolutely. So to kind of break it down, to recap a little bit what we said earlier, you have the team lead account permission, and you have the team member individual agent permission. That team member agent permission, they're not going to have control over any of the team level pieces, right? So websites, campaigns, they will not have access to any of that customization options. However, if there's a deal that you want to associate to an individual team member, you'll be able to do that. So as a team leader, you're at a deal, you can actually say, I want to assign this deal to Joe. When Joe logs into his booj CRM as an individual team member, he's going to see that deal inside of his CRM. Same thing with sharing contacts and things like that. So again, team members, you definitely want them to have their own team member permission inside of booj. That is done, again, for core agents through the agent office portal. You add them there. Is that the same, Michelle, for you guys?
I think so, yep.
So if you're adding your teams in the agent office portal, then they would be available to then have their own team member permission here. Was there a second part to that question? I'm going to pull it up just to make sure I hit everything.
Yep. About full
we are
access.
confused. Sorry, go ahead.
No, that's okay. I was just reading it. Go ahead.
So confused to benefits and issues either way at this point. So again, just to kind of clear up the benefits, team leader, they have ability to manage everything when it comes to the team. The same thing as a team lead admin once that permission comes out. Team members, though, they're going to have access to anything that's only regarding them as that team member. So there is definitely advantage of them being able to log in to that account. Okay.
And sorry, Maureen, one more question that's important. So for those of you that are broker owners and team leaders and agents, there was a question that came in from Dave in Indiana. He said he was trying to get access to his, where do I see the lead routing? So Maureen, could you show everyone again where you started and how you got to lead routing? And this is true for office level and team leader level.
Sure. I'm going back to what I'm going to do is actually what I'll do is just finalize this one last entry here as I'm editing my pod. Basically, it's just the same visual that you can now edit underneath your new name. And this is an area in which the team members have already been populated. So this is where you could take some in, take some out, change the timing, and that is how you edit a pod. So I'm going to go back to the upper right-hand corner where it says CRM, because what that does is bring me back to the dashboard. And always when you want to get back to lead routing, you want to click on the upper right-hand corner icon, whether it's a balloon or a little face or your picture. When you see lead routing, that's what you're clicking on. And the default picture is the unassigned leads. But what you really want to do is go to the routing rules, and that's where you can enter into your pods. Did that answer that question?
Let us know, Dave. And if for some reason you can't see this, then let Erika or I know, and we can look into that for you.
And then the next tab under pods is settings in general, and those are your defaults and what you can adjust there overall. But the pods are for the specific categories of leads that you want to sort of hyper control. And that's why they're given to you, so that you can name them. They can be for different price ranges. They can be for different property types. They might be for different zip codes. But it's just another level of detail in which this booj CRM is going to work wonders for you. I can't tell you how excited we are to see all that it's doing. So I'm going to go back and see what's next here. It might be about time for Zach to take over. I'm sorry, Joe to take over, but I'm going to just take another look. Yeah, what we might want to touch upon, Joe, when I let you take over, is maybe the team newsletters and the editing of those. There may be some tasks, plans, and things you can show us, deals, connections, and finally, the team websites and the URL domain management at this point. So that's just the summary of the last few pieces I think we should touch upon in the last 15 minutes. If you can help us out with that, I'll stop my share and let you take over.
Absolutely. So just to kind of point us out there, we have a little bit of time to go over a lot of stuff. So I know, again, I told you earlier, I'm from the Northeast, so I talk really fast. And I know that can be a little frustrating when you're trying to gather information. A lot of what I'm going to show you, again, like Maureen said, are on RE/MAX University as really short videos. We have a 1-hour team webinar you can watch and pause as you need it. So if you don't get everything, don't feel frustrated. You're going to get something out of this, but just I'm going to go a little fast if that's okay.
That works.
All right.
That has to be done.
Let me share my screen. I'm going to go over to my one of many windows, make sure I have the right one open. Okay. So I'm going to start back from your dashboard. Okay. So from your dashboard, you've seen this quite a bit. This is where you're going to be able to see the activity. Now, if you're selected as a team leader, you're going to be able to see individual team member activity here as well. So the first thing I'm going to show you real quick is when you want to edit these dashboards. So widgets, excuse me, things like your calendar, what kind of deals are you working on, your campaign statistics. When you click on edit widgets as a team leader, you're able to add additional widgets. When you add a widget, and let's say we want to add a calendar widget, once you select calendar and click on next, you'll then be able to add individual team member calendars to this dashboard. So you can actually literally see every one of your team members' calendar right when you log into booj the first time. Again, just make sure you have that correct permission selected in the upper left-hand corner. So that's the first thing I wanted to show you. When it comes to tasks and things like that, you can also do the same thing. So you can also have specific tasks that you have assigned as a team leader to a team member appear on this dashboard and events as well. So play around with that. It's an awesome feature. It definitely is going to help with scheduling and stuff like that. The next thing I want to show you is your team leader functionality from the campaigns section. So when you select campaigns from the booj navigation banner up top, once you select campaigns, you're going to see all the different types on the left-hand side. Some of these are not active right now, like drip campaigns we've mentioned are coming soon, but your single send campaigns are live, available for you to create currently. So as a team leader, you come in, you're under single, you select add campaign. If this campaign is just for you, your own account, you would select personal. If you want to select this campaign and create it as a template, you can select brokerage. I know, again, it doesn't say team, but this is the same functionality. You would select this here, and then when your agents go in and start creating their own campaigns, single send campaigns, they'll see this as an option, as a template, if you select brokerage right here. So you would select brokerage, you would select build campaign, and then you would start building out your campaign template. I'm not going to walk through this entire thing because I think you've probably seen how to build a campaign before. I just want to show you those team functionalities. The first thing you do once you get to this screen is you want to select a template. These templates here are created by RE/MAX and booj development teams. However, whatever you do from here, you will be saving as a template for, again, your agent. So if I select this Happy Holidays template, you'll then notice I'm in that same tool that we're in when we were editing the website. So as you start as the team leader editing all this content, because you can make this look as personal as you want, once you do that, all those changes that you make, once you're done here, your agents are going to, your team members are going to be able to take advantage of for their own single send campaigns as well. Any questions with so far what I've done? I see a couple coming through. I think we're good. All right.
I'm trying to get to them, but
Oh, there you go.
let's see. Erika, can you pull those up? They're not coming up on my screen. I think we lost Erika.
All right, so we've got, no, I was trying to pull them up as well. So a couple of questions that we have. How do team members get access to the team permissions? Agent office, not sure what that is.
So when you have a brokerage first open up their office, Michelle or Erika, whoever can answer this, what platform are they going into when they start adding in their staff members and agents?
On our end, they do it through iFranchise.
They do. Oh, they do it that way. Okay. So I wouldn't know. So however you're adding your team members from that process, once you finish that process, it's going to add them to the booj platform. Again, our process is a different tool that I think maybe you're not using. That's why that agent office thing I keep talking about maybe doesn't ring a bell. But wherever you're going, when you have a new office agent joining your office, wherever you go to add them to the roster, that's where you want to go for them to start appearing in the booj platform.
So for those that are asking questions about that, if you're not certain if people are displaying like they should be or how they should be displaying, reach out to our support team. We can check that on the back end and make sure that everybody's properly connected. Because obviously if they're not properly connected, then it's not going to display the way that you're expecting for it to on the front end of your booj site. Dan would like to know, when is the Google Calendar integration going to be available?
Great question. So I can tell you the date that we have, I believe is April 30th, the end of the month. Typically we don't put dates on things, but they're pretty confident this will be done by April 30th. From what I've seen, this feature is pretty much good to go, ready to go. They just need to kind of finish a couple of quality assurance things and turn it live. So that's why we have that specific date.
Awesome. And then the last one is, can you tell us what happens to the routing when you turn on the ISA?
Yeah, so what you can do is if you turn on the ISA, you can have certain leads go to an inside sales agent. So then they can actually access certain things regarding that lead, but they may not have a full version of the booj account because they're just an inside sales agent, something like that. So, or sometimes, you have inside sales agents taking the office leads that are coming in that way. So that's what you'll be able to do once that role goes live as well.
And then we just got another one. Our team name is incorrect within booj. It is showing up within booj as the team leader's name instead of the team name. How do we fix that? It is not a field we can change in Max Center.
So that question is usually something for membership or contracts. Whoever handles that data can fix that on the back end. So if this was a core US agent broker asking me that question, I would advise them to contact membership and have them change that.
That's the same for INTEGRA as well.
Cool.
That's all the questions right now.
Awesome. All right. So I just muted myself. To recap, what I was walking you through was how to create a template, a single send campaign template that not only can you send as a team leader, but then your agents, your team members can use as well for their own marketing and campaigns. So right now what I'm going to do is I'm going to click down here. I'm going to go back to my booj platform by clicking on the booj logo in the upper left-hand corner. You can see I'm still selected as the team lead. If I go to my contact and leads now, right? So we're going to go to our contact and lead list. You can see that I have one contact. When I select the first or last name of the contact or lead, you can get to that same share button that Maureen was showing you earlier. So under the actions drop down from the contact record, you can share this individual contact as well. So you can do it as a group of contacts. You can also do it as an individual contact. And there you go. You have your global individual settings that she talked about. And in the future, you'll have the ability to add those team admin permissions from here as well. All right, so we went over widgets. We went over quickly campaign templates, contact and leads. Next thing I want to show you is deals. When you select deals from that top navigation banner, When you come to your deal pipeline, this is the pipeline that you can track your deal across. If you select Add Deal, the blue button in the upper right-hand corner, as a team leader or broker owner, the first thing you would do is name this deal. And then under the owner, you can actually assign this deal to an individual team member or another team leader. Excuse me, about to sneeze. I didn't want to do that on camera. I apologize. But this is where you would go and assign this deal to a specific team member on your team. And then they would get that when they log in under their team member profile. That's why it's important that they have their own profile. I'm not going to fill out this entire form. It's the same way you would fill out a deal if you're an agent. The only thing that's different for a team lead is this owner drop down right here. Any questions so far on that, Erica or Michelle?
Not
Nope.
so far.
Cool.
Thanks.
Yeah. Okay. So what do we got? We got 54, and I'm sure we're going to have maybe a few questions. So the last thing I want to show you, and again, it's not the only team function, but I think it's the most important thing we walk away with today besides those lead routing pods, is the website. Now, if you've been in the website manager, the CMS editor is what we call it, content management system, not a big deal if you don't remember that today. But it's going to be the same that you've seen for agent websites as well as the office websites. So again, make sure you have that team leader selected. If you accidentally have your agent profile or permission assigned in, that's only going to customize your agent website. If you want to customize the team website, you want that team leader permission selected. Once you select website from the top navigation banner, you can then get to all the different portions of your website manager. So that first section, which you've seen multiple times, is the dashboard. From here, this is where you would go to publish your team website. So you would come in here to publish it. You would select that publish button. Once you do that, it's there for consumers and the public to start accessing. Just like an agent website or an office website, if you want to change your team website layout, you can select change homepage. And then from there, you can select between the different layouts for agents. They are modern, search, social, and video. Coming soon will be the Remax collection luxury template as well. So you would select the template you want to switch to. Each one of these are designed to do different things. And then you would come down to the bottom and click on save. I'm going to click cancel. And then if you want to edit your team website or homepage, you would select the edit team social layout button. And this is going to bring you to that very similar editor that you saw, not just for websites, but also for that campaign builder as well. Under your left-hand side, you have all your different content blocks. So everything on the right should definitely meet up on the left. Everything should be organized. If I want testimonials to appear before the team bio, you can easily switch that, and it's going to have your testimonials appear before the team bio. It's not doing that right now because I don't have any testimonials added, so there's no content to add there. If anything in your team bio is incorrect, if it's something that can be edited, you would do that from your Max profile as the team leader. If it's not, like Erica said, you'd want to reach out to your INTEGRA support.
Joe, one last quick thing, if you could just hit on the domain name
Yes.
for today.
Yep. So I'm going to click on exit upper right-hand corner to get back to our booj CRM. From that website drop-down menu, once again, you're going to want to select domain manager. So again, to get to your domain website, domain manager, you would come to this section where you would then select add domain. You would then add the actual domain that you want to redirect to your team leader website. You would have to also make sure you update the A type and C name inside of your server. So if you're using GoDaddy, things like that. One thing that Michelle said, I know I've said a couple times, if you're not sure, if you're not tech savvy, as they say, contact your support and they will help you walk through that. But you would have to redirect that from GoDaddy to start pushing that traffic to your agent site or your team site. Before I leave, I'm going to go back to that dashboard. Michelle, I know you probably want me to point this out. Once you publish your site, you're going to see what your team leader website domain is going to be that Remax provides for you. So this is a test domain. If you want to see what that actual domain is going to be, once you publish it, you would see that right here.
That's a wonderful summary. I can't thank you enough, Joe. You've been invaluable on all of these webinars, especially today's. Any more questions that we should finalize before we exit, ladies?
I'm just wondering, wanting clarification from Dawn, or says the Dawn Lewandowski teams. It's just a statement. Can you lead me in the right direction for that? I'm not quite sure what that is. Maybe Erika knows.
I do not.
Okay, Dawn, could you clarify for us what you need help with, and we'll be happy to answer that. And last call for questions. We got a couple minutes to go. Thank you so much, Joe. That was great. In the team back end. Just got another statement from an anonymous attendee. I'm not sure exactly. So if you're to get to any of the team settings, if you're looking for those, go to the top right corner, make sure you're in team leader role, that you've toggled to the right role, and then go to the top right where your picture is, and then go to lead routing, and that's going to take you to your lead routing settings. Let us know specifically what else you're looking for. And we didn't get any clarification from Dawn either. So I think that's it, everyone. Sorry, Dawn, if we missed that on our part.
And don't forget, you can go back to those RE/MAX University videos that I pointed out earlier in the presentation. You will be getting a copy of the slides. The questions and answers that have come through, as well as this recording, will be posted. Again, we thank you all very much for being so adaptable. I can't thank our panelists enough, who have given up hours and hours of their time to join Michelle and I as we try to present this material outside of the classroom. We're extremely anxious to get back there with you, and we know that this will all come together. We'll all get through it together, and we will be seeing you again very soon. And again, thank you for being adaptable. Thank you for joining us. And to my team, thank you from the bottom of my heart for backing me up and making sure that our customers get all the information they need accurately. I hope everybody has a wonderful day.
Thanks, everyone. Bye.
Bye.